Sponsored by Factor. Stop getting takeout and overpriced fast food delivery, which will do damage to your body and wallet, and have a good chance of being wrong when you finally receive the order. Get set up with Factor and skip any meal prep time to make your meals stress-free. Get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door, with over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie. And if you're going to be gone for a week and need to pause, Factor makes it easy for scheduling your delivery dates and pausing deliveries when needed. And if you're new to Factor, you can save big time on it. Use my link in the description or the code ROCKEDFEB50 at checkout to get 50% off and free shipping off your first Factor box. Support Rocked and get better eating habits with Factor. Welcome back to the Podcast That Rocked, weekly podcast that talks about news in the world of rock, metal, alternative, and everything in between. My name is Luke.
My name is Alex.
And my name is Rowan.
Thank you all joining us on this Tuesday evening or afternoon or morning or wherever you are. It might be Wednesday morning. I don't know. Time's weird. Thank you anyway. If we get 52 likes from our live YouTube audience, we will do a round of Festival Rock or Flop where we try to book a random festival, somehow more random than last week. Last week we booked 4 days, and one of them was so weird, it was like our first bomb out in a while, but we got 3 good ones, so that's okay. So, other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please share the link. It does help a ton. Hit the like button. Engage with the podcast. Have a good time. Hello to everyone in chat. Hope you're all doing well. We will get to all super chats as well. Thank you guys so much. Let's just jump into it right now because the big-ish news of the day is A Day to Remember being something worth remembering, releasing a new album as a surprise, physical medium only.
Woo!
I don't know the last time that's happened, if ever.
I love to see it.
Okay, I shouldn't say whatever. Of course, that's how it always used to happen before streaming. But
Back in my day,
you had to walk to the store and buy your LP.
That's what you did? Oh my god, everything was just available to me on my phone. Even when before streaming, all I did was just have to look up a song name on YouTube. I mean, as long as I was watching, as long as like, you know, there was like a Silent Hill or like, you know, or Halo edit in the background, I could listen to every 3 Days Grace song I wanted.
Shouldn't you be in recess right now?
Get off my lawn.
So, that being said, straight out of Florida, Ocala, Florida, and that's some Florida right there, I promise. Big Ole Album Volume 1, which indicates a Volume 2 eventually, dropped as a surprise in LP and CD form only. You can buy it from their sites. And there are influencers, there are review sites, like actual accounts on TikTok and Instagram that have the physical copies today, like they were sent early. So it exists. This is not just a promotional thing. This was a big fatty surprise that was done pretty well, and the album will be available on streaming in a month, in March. I think March 21st or something like that, they said, that week. I'm not against something like this. For a band that probably does not care about streaming numbers right away.
Yeah, I think they're established enough. I think this is super fun. I'm kind of bummed that I never thought of doing this, like releasing it physically first and making people go get it and actually have that. Because we all know having that physical touch with the CD or even a record, whatever, it's different. It hits different. So I think this is awesome.
It does. And again,
bringing it out.
Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, sorry. Bringing it out earlier than like putting it on stream service, that incentivizes like you to like, you know, go at it so you could still like, you know, you could still be like in the loop. And to Alex's point too, just having like the physical media, I think like it kind of like helps you like feel more sentimental with that type of thing.
There's a connection to it, like whether it's intentional or not, there is like a physical binding connection to media. Like you have to go back and think about when you got the new LP or vinyl or a CD or a cassette or whatever it is, and you would have like something physical to display with it. That still is something, like, because I still buy LPs when I love a band and I love the singles and I want to support the band. I'll pre-order a vinyl. That's fine. But even I can say it's not the same as it was back then. However, this makes it different. You can't stream some of these songs until one of the fans that bought it a day of puts it on YouTube. Guess what's gonna happen in a week?
I know, that's the...
And what sucks too, someone has to physically buy it. So that means a fan or someone's paying money just to upload it to YouTube. So,
Well, and they have all of the watchers now, like all the bots flag that stuff. I wonder if A Day to Remember has that stuff like on their radar.
That's actually a great point because their music videos, like if you try to use a clip of music video from them, instant worldwide block. So you know what? That's very possible.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I know. So that's actually not a bad point. They could do that. Of course, there's ways around it to speed it up and slow it down, but that's besides the point. I'm not against something like this. I wonder if it'll catch on. Now, I'll say this for myself. I have not heard the new singles. They didn't get released or put online until later this afternoon, and I didn't have time to listen to them yet, so I can't speak on that yet. Make It Make Sense and Lebron, two very A Day to Remember sounding tracks, are also available, along with Miracle, which was a single before, a couple years ago, which I did like, and another single that came between Miracle and Today. So that is a novelty that I think is important. I don't know if it'll catch on, but I applaud ingenuity and something like this to help make a spark in a scene where no one's really buying physical media, pre-orders, everything like that. You want to hear our music a month early? Buy it. Here's a way to do it too.
I like that. I think it's cool. I hope it catches on because I still I miss that physical connection, and I still buy CDs. I totally do. If I really support a band and I'm really into an album, I always buy the CDs. Sure. And having that booklet, having the lyrics and stuff, it's awesome. So I think forcing people, if they want to get in on the action as soon as it's released, to get a physical copy, I like it, and I hope more people do it.
I also want to point out too, if I'm correct, this is still with Fueled by Ramen, the label they're on right now. I'm not positive if this is still, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. The previous album, You're Welcome, was the almost band breaker, as in it was probably the worst rolled out album. They pushed it back day of release, saying, sorry, it's not ready yet. We have to give it a few months to fix things. They did. It was still a mess, to say the least, and they've been aware of that. A Day to Remember have parted ways with a previous problematic band member. A Day to Remember has seen the rough side the last few years, like from 2019 onward. So something like this is a bold first step. Again, I like it. This is going to sound mean. It's going to be awful if this is the first band to do this in a long, long time and like try to fight streaming and piracy, and the album sucks.
That would. We need Tool to do this just to have that quality control.
See, Tool, I can see actually doing something like that because they've always like spoiled the physical pre-orders. Adam Jones making those bonkers CD kits with a video board and things like that, vinyl sets with the digital things. They went overboard for that stuff.
And we joke about me being young and be like, oh yeah, I didn't have to dig through the trenches like you two, but like Tool, before they put all their stuff on streaming finally, I was going into college when they put all their stuff into streaming. So like Tool was like the band where it's like I really did have to buy like the albums physically if I wanted to listen to them.
And did it prevent you from digesting that content?
No, it was like it made me like grow closer to the albums because it was like, oh yeah, I actually I love these albums so much, I love this band so much that like I actually went out of my way to find them,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's something to that too. I mean, the record stores still exist because of that feeling too, that connection where you can find new music, actually connect with other people and have something tangible and physical, whether it's new music or old.
Yeah, no, but it was like the thing where it's like kind of like just because of how it was at the time, Tool kind of like their situation kind of maybe forced it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a thing where it's like, yeah, I needed to do this if I wanted to like listen to these albums whenever I wanted.
Do you see? Tool is actually a better candidate for something like this too, because people would go bonkers for stuff like this if there was Tool.
Oh, yeah.
You could get the new album a month early if you buy a physical copy. People would like bulldoze down a warehouse just to get their hands on it.
Yeah, dude, I
one
still
of the
remember
coolest feelings. We're probably going to say something similar, but one of the coolest feelings I remember from my youth was I pre-ordered the second album from In This Moment, The Dream. And, back they had to mail it off and whatever. I got it one day before Street. And I was so stoked that I was hearing this album before anybody else. It was an accident. I wasn't supposed to get it early, but I got it one day.
I know they're publicist. I might have to I might have to snitch So
you realize this was in 2008?
They'll
so
probably
good
be like,
luck, have fun.
Statute of limitations.
They'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, I'm the one that sent it to her. Thanks."
Yes, and we have the same friends, Luke. What are you talking
we
about?
We know who the publicist is, so it doesn't matter. Never mind.
But yeah, it was so cool. I was like, yes, I got this before anyone else. This is, and I just, popped into my Walkman and I had myself a grand old In This Moment day.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the times of like my parents when it's like you would have like one person buy the album, then you would, or like on a cassette, then you would put the cassette with an empty one and re-record it, and you would all leave the room to try and that was your way of copying it.
Oh, that was like back with my sister's generation. Like you had the tape to tape on the big stereo. Like you could hit record on that thing, it would record perfectly without having to be there around it. But like my sister's generation was also, you had the two like portable tape players. You'd smush them together. One has record, one's play. You're just like playing the speakers back to back. So
yeah, no, that's what my dad did.
Yeah,
and it was we had to leave the room, and you just had to pray.
That's the one.
No,
the phone doesn't ring. No one's yelling at you from downstairs. That's the type of stuff you would have to hope for.
There are like actual cassette tapes owned by my dad where it's like you can hear my grandma yelling his name, and you just know he was probably like steaming. He's like, damn it!
Ruined it, Grandma.
Just imagine you're hearing Stairway to Heaven's like guitar solo. You just hear your mom shout your name.
Mm-hmm. Sweet home Alabama. What?
What? So funny.
But there's 2 clocks ticking down now. I'm not going to pull up on Spotify because Spotify's awful. But on Spotify, if you go to that page for Big Ole Album Volume 1, there's a countdown for it. Like counting down till it's available on Spotify. As if to say, we want to make sure you come here to listen to it, but I guess you can buy it first. Aw, shucks. That type of attitude. And I also say this, whether this is with Fueled by Ramen or not, someone can correct me in the chat if they know for sure which one it is. At least we know a day to remember, and the people that produced it and put work onto the physical album, they're getting more of a direct cut that's not going anywhere towards Spotify and streaming royalties, just to fatten Daniel X's pockets again.
The reason why to do this, because that when you're buying the physical media, more of the money is actually going to the artist. I even had that recently where it's I was just at Newberry Comics not too long ago, and I saw Take Me Back to Eden on CD. I've already listened to the album an insane amount of times, and I don't really have a CD player anymore, but I still bought it because that's how much I love that band and that album.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Fueled by Ramen are still with Fueled by Ramen. I mean,
I would imagine so, yes.
Fueled by Ramen is Fueled by Ramen.
Yeah, the record label's not with the label
Did you guys hear that? I'm not the only one on this podcast that actually misspeaks every podcast now. Ha!
Hey, I didn't sleep well last night. Whatever. Excuse, blah, blah, blah.
Chat, you missed some big technical difficulties on Alex's end right before this.
Dude, I'm impressed with how quickly I got it together.
You got it done. That's a radio professional. So,
as I was saying, A Day to Remember is in fact on Fueled by Ramen.
Okay, so I'm going to speak for this part as well. When that signing took place and You're Welcome came out, people were furious that A Day to Remember sounded more like a Fueled by Ramen band, which is more of a very poppy pop punk. Think 21 Pilot style, And it kind of shined on that a little bit, on all that stuff for their most recent album. I don't know what to expect for this. Again, I have not heard the 2 new singles. Miracle's the only one I remember. That's by no means a You're Welcome, Fueled by Ramen, Happy Fun Time, AJR type song.
We also had Feedback.
Feedback, that's the name of the other one. I thank you. That one's available on the album too. So we shall see. I don't know where this is going to go. It's just more about the marketing and product projection of all this stuff. Projection may not be the best word to use this, but again, if A Day to Remember fans want something physical, they can hear the whole album early and get the album early and brag online about how they got the album early. Everyone wins on that side.
Yeah, there is no lose in that situation. Go pick up the album.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some elitist where it's oh yeah, if you didn't get it early, you're a poser.
Oh, you're listening to the title version? Yeah.
Oh, you're just listening to the ones they put out on Apple Music and Spotify. They're scraps that they decide to just throw to you anyway. Oh, okay,
I will say this. Album artwork is night and day, very involved, very cool looking drawing of caricatures galore. There's the old Mount Rushmore logo they had of their heads on the Mount Rushmore. Tons of little features. Again, fun album cover. So much stuff on there, I can't even begin to pick it out. So, again, that alone, they're putting work into this. I have not heard the singles. I've heard some hit and miss stuff in the chat right now. Someone just called out Bloodsucker from the previous album. That's a rough one, but still. I will say, from a business standpoint, they did it right. Why can't more bands think outside the box like this? If this is a trendsetter, fine. So, good for a day to remember. Good for a band doing something different that hopefully will work out.
Let's see more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please. I hope the album is at least good enough to warrant other bands trying.
But just steal the idea if your music is better. Even if you don't think this is awesome, do it anyway.
That's true.
I would just say some bands just try it anyway, no matter like how it goes. Because like there are some bands like I will do this if it's a band that I am more into. I will happily pick up the album early.
There are many bands I would do that with too. If I know it's going to be available a month early and I could say, screw it, I really love the band anyway, why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it definitely makes sense. So,
yeah.
I personally will not be checking out the album until it's streaming. I just don't want to, if money's tight and I want to buy this one, that doesn't mean I'm against the idea. So, new a day to remember though, for all you Florida post-hardcore, emo, pop punk fans. Is that right? That sounds right. I don't know if for those of you who've been to Ocala, Florida, a small town by Florida standards, which is a big state, and man, oh man, it's one of the elderly capitals of Florida as well.
Oh, so it's like all retirement homes. It's like we're
It's more retirement homes and like horse ranches and like horse farms and things like that, where all the retirees go to like play with horses and run horse farms and things. So everything's like 15 to 20 years outdated. That type of thing. So
nice.
So we'll have more Day to Remember news as it comes up, I'm sure. Moving on, we go across the pond to the UK to talk about my favorite segment of every week. We were right. Luke, Alex, and Rowan were right. You know why we were right? For a terrible reason. Ticketmaster ruined everything.
Boo!
Huzzah! We were right. I mean, okay, come on. Okay, first of all, it's like calling if the It's like if the sun. It's like calling if the sun's going to shine tomorrow. It's a pretty safe bet, you know. Black Sabbath's ticket stand system branded absolute shambles as thousands of fans miss out. I'm going to give the synopsis of a little bit of this as it goes on because the article's long. I can't play the video clips, all the screenshots of many, many people that were shared as it was happening. The largest number of people in queue at one point that I saw and actually saw proof of, 160,000.
Wow, I saw up to 60-something thousand.
I know it was like at least 30,000. So, but 160, my God.
By the day of, at least over an hour into it, over 160,000 queued worldwide. Now, we did briefly mention last week that they were giving the first early access to people in the UK, which smart. That is fair as well. So I totally get it. But Ticketmaster did not help themselves. Number one, you had to buy at least 2 tickets if you wanted to purchase. No solo tickets, and that is awful.
I read that one dude. I saw like one dude spent like $7,500 for 2 tickets. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I'm like, my God, dude, like, I don't know what your job is, but like, I hope you're okay after this show.
Right.
You have to live with that.
That's what credit cards are for.
I was going to say,
I'll just fake my death after the show in the bank and just like
open one line of credit just for 2 concert tickets, and your line of credit is maxed out in one day.
I go to the bank and I lie about taking out a business loan and like
business loan for that. I want to go to this festival. I mean, I want to open a business for deodorant stand at a festival to sell deodorants.
It's like, if you get a metalhead like bank teller, he's like, oh yeah, no, that makes total sense. You'll have like a thriving business. Here's your money.
A lot of, like I want to say, oh yeah, metalhead bank teller, but they do exist. You know who also exists? The hoity-toity Black Sabbath fans who are paying over £3,000 for floor seats. per ticket.
Yeah.
You can't
$7,500 guy. Like, my God.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's about the right equation too. So it probably was floor. They did have a good range. They were fair for ticket pricing all the way up to the nosebleeds and stuff. This is a 40,000 cap arena, and I think they'll have more for the floor as well. But at the same time, Ticketmaster really, really limited a lot of people from even having a chance to buy.
We knew it was going to be a mess, but
yes,
dang.
I would argue it was worse than the whole Taylor Swift Eras tour in every city, because this is one date.
Again, I am just waiting to see all the TikToks of like 40-year-old metalheads in like their leather vests being like, oh my god, I'm in the queue.
I'm excited to see footage from the show, man.
I am too. Yeah. And they did say, and this is good news, they will be streaming it.
Yes.
We will be able to see the final show. I'm sure it'll be a highly detailed, high production, recorded, blah, blah, blah. Not only that, they keep adding to the show. You know who else is going to be at the show now at Back to the Beginning? Well, we already mentioned one of the three names, Tool. Then Guns N' Roses. And then finally, I believe the third one was, I was going to say the surprise, Tool, Guns N' Roses, and then the host, Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa.
Woo!
Jason Momoa is cool because if anyone in chat doesn't know, Jason Momoa is a confirmed metalhead. The guy plays bass, so to the three of us, he's already like cool. But like,
he's not just a figurehead host just for name value. No, he's legit into it. Todd Morello has booked one heck of a show. He's still the one curating all this. He's pretty much the festival and day organizer of all this. He's done a pretty good job. Now, this goes to the next part of this, and this is where some people have been wondering what's going to happen with the show. This is not going to be a full Black Sabbath concert. Ozzy's going to be doing a few songs, and it's going to be a lot of showcasing just everything throughout his career. He's not going to be able to perform a 90-minute set.
Yeah.
So don't go into it thinking that. He will perform. He'll be sitting down on a throne or something, but it's not going to be like it was even in 2018.
I mean, if the guy's 80 with Parkinson's, can you really blame him? Really?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
They're definitely stacking the show to help with that. They already said many of the bands invited, from full bands just to guest performances like Papa V, the new Ghost singer, they're all probably going to be doing something Black Sabbath or Ozzy tributed, which is very cool to see. So it's definitely going to be worth it, but just don't go into this thinking Ozzy on stage 90 minutes to wrap it up and a fond farewell curtain call with Black Sabbath after 90 minutes of the hits. It's not going to be that type of show. The fact that it's a Black Sabbath reunion in any way and they play one song, that's a miracle.
Yeah.
It's the first time they've been together in, 20 years?
At least.
Well, no, they did a tour in 2017, right? Or 2016?
I don't think that was with the original four, though.
Not all four of them, no.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. And before then, Dio passed in 2010?
Yeah, I think so.
Before that too, I think the other three were doing stuff too, but not like to this level. So this is the original Black Sabbath, and this is probably the only chance they'll ever be. So
would they even play any Dio stuff, like any Dio era Black Sabbath? I can't even imagine.
Doubt it. They might make a mention of it, but probably not. So, fun fact: I'm making a video about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees because they got announced last week. And spoiler, I'm making a video about 10 bands who should be in, an updated one because I made one a couple of years ago. And some of them have been put in since then. Dio's not in. So every name you see that gets nominated, you go, why would they even be nominated? Dio's not in. Nope.
So many bands that like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna nominate Mariah Carey before Dio.
And she's been nominated several times too.
I know what's going on here.
Well, Motorhead's not even on the freaking ballot. Really?
Motorhead's been nominated once in 2020. They're on the list of the video I'm making too. Never nominated again. Up for nomination.
This is just I think I've said this before on the podcast. There are bands in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame who have gone on record to say, if it wasn't for Motorhead or Dio or what other band, we would not be around. And those bands are not. Yeah.
And also, Dio and Motorhead transcend metal. They are in the public eye. People know who they are. Not just metal fans and things like that. But neither of them have a Christmas song that gets played every year in every Target and Ulta and restaurant and store every Christmas. So why would the Rock Hall care?
I would rather hear nails scratching a chalkboard for 5 hours at max volume than that Mariah Carey song.
I wouldn't hate it as much if it wasn't played like clockwork from Thanksgiving to Christmas. I think that's the downfall of it. So
yeah, that's what ruined it for me. You cannot escape that song. The memes are correct.
We're laughing though. They're going to play that at the Back to the Beginning concert somehow. They're going to bring up Mariah Carey just to do that, just to mess with everybody.
Dude, what? You can't put that kind of energy into the universe.
Hey, we're not going there. We couldn't even get tickets. What do we care?
I care. It's the principle of the thing.
Ticketmaster wouldn't let us. That Xmas song, Gag Me With a Spoon. Oh, yeah. Well, chat's now reacting to Mariah Carey, as they should. So
wait a sec. We all know that Metallica is going to be voted in. Sir, I have some news for you.
Yes. There's a reason why Las Vegas doesn't allow you to bet on games that have already been past years old. I bet Super Bowl 1999 the Rams are going to win. Well, okay then. So
you win.
I win. Alrighty, where's my money?
Unless you got a DeLorean in your backyard, good luck.
So that being said, we'll have more of this because apparently they're going to keep adding more names. Final thing before we go on this. You know how Warped Tour keeps adding names and we're all going, fine, okay. Meanwhile, this one-day festival in UK keeps adding names, and it's already sold out. It's making us more jealous.
Yep.
So
you stop adding to this
Tom
one.
Morello.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah. Let Tom Morello
Kevin.
Let Tom Morello book one day of one festival somewhere in the States. That's it.
Yeah.
Kevin should have called Tom. Man, what the hell went wrong here?
He called the guy from Attila instead.
What are you doing?
It sucks to say that, but that's a fact. That actually did happen. So, yeah, there you go.
You live and you learn.
Do you learn? Do they learn?
I hope so.
We now move on to what happened this past weekend. What many people were talking about, the 50th anniversary Saturday Night Live. A 19-hour festival celebration where it just went on and had stars from the past 50 years, both of acting and past cast members and musicians. One of the biggest ones was Adam Sandler doing a bit and then introducing post-Nirvana, Post Malone singing in place of Kurt Cobain with the surviving members of Nirvana. That's a big deal.
I think it's pretty cool.
I cannot play 1/2 second of it because not only is YouTube going to clamp down on that, NBC Universal is viciously protective of all their SNL material on YouTube. So not a chance I can even play a second. But it's up. And you can check it out. And from what I saw, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. Post Malone is what I like about him is one, I like his music, but two, he's very respectful when it comes to classic rock and metal and all this. Because believe it or not, anyone in chat doesn't know, he started out in a metal band. That's not a joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His roots are definitely in the right place.
He does.
And he performed Them Bones on Howard Stern 2 years ago, and I thought he did a good job, So
Yes.
I feel like he is capable of doing grunge.
He's definitely very familiar with the material. He grew up with it. And I remember years ago thinking he would be the perfect man to collaborate with rock and metal bands more, not even including this Nirvana reunion type thing, this one off, because I thought that could help get some more crossover. But then I realized now with Post Malone, I don't think he sees any value in getting the money out of doing it because he can collaborate with many other people. But keep in mind, you know who he's collaborated with many times now? Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
So, and it worked. So,
has he? Correct me if I'm wrong here. Has he been added to the roster of the show?
Good.
If not, that's kind of criminal.
Question. I hope he goes over there because he did songs as recent as 2019, whatever it was.
Yeah,
and it worked. So, it's a raid and things like that. Yeah.
Take what you want from me. Yeah.
Such a good song.
Yeah. So, I'd say get him over there. Even if he doesn't perform, I could see him flying over there, just saying, "Screw it! I got enough money. I'll buy my own black market SeatGeek StubHub ticket.
Just bring him on stage and just high five Ozzy." Yeah,
exactly. So
he's just gonna call somebody and be like, "Dude, I need to hang out with you backstage." And okay, you're here. You're
they're
good.
not. Yeah, they're not going to tell him no. You know, they're not going to care.
Posty.
Yeah, That his name. Posty.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the dude, again, like, does the dude really do anything for the money anymore? I mean, like, the guy just makes whatever music he wants to be in a freaking country album.
He was also just paid a bajillion dollars to be in a big Bud Light commercial for the Super Bowl. Pretty sure he's doing okay.
He's doing fine.
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of those...
movie with Jack Black.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those musicians where he's like, I know I have enough money, so I'm going to do literally whatever I want.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as of yet, he hasn't like lost any music art integrity or anything. So you know what?
No,
If it happens, that it can happen, that musicians cannot be completely corrupt. Not all musicians are completely corrupted by money and wealth and success.
I just want to know, when's the Post Malone metalcore album dropping?
Honestly, dude, he's so genre fluid. We may see that one of these days.
You know,
that's what I'm saying.
You know who the best collab's going to be with when he does it? On Post-Human 3. Bring Me the Horizon, when that comes out. Maybe the perfect combination for that. Post Malone and Bring Me the Horizon.
That would be so awesome.
Because those EPs have tons of collabs anyway. He's fit perfectly for it.
Just put Post Malone in a room with Lee Malia and Jordan Fish and just let them cook.
Yeah. Jordan Fish, even though he's not with Bring Me the Horizon, he could probably do some cool stuff with that too.
Yeah.
So, I think it's cool. Good stuff to see. And then we move on, as we are slowly running out of time because we spent so much on different things. So there's a lot of decent news. The other one that will make a lot of Tool fans happy, including myself and the three of us, Tool's committed spending 3 months this summer to record and write and make a new album.
Nice.
They took their cruise.
Go.
They have some tour dates to work on. And then they're going to wherever and are just going to sit down and work together. That's a huge promise.
I just got to know. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, after their Mexican festival in March, and it's not like Tool have been working on new material, they just take forever, according to Metal Injection. We got back from our trip. I think it's only 3 weeks we're going to be there, but we have already shared with each other a lot of these new ideas, which proves they're already working on it. If they're committed to 3 months working together and actually working with each other in a time frame, then yeah, I can actually see the new music happening.
I got to wonder though, because I wonder how much is already done and what those 3 months were going to amount to, because Tool's writing process that the three musicians, they kind of jam and figure out the arrangement, then Maynard comes in with his lyrics,
Correct.
And I mean, we've had 6 years since Fear Inoculum, so who knows what Danny, Adam, and Justin were cooking up in those 3 or in those 6 together.
And they've toured plenty since then also. So it's not like they've all just been away from each other. They've definitely worked together quite a bit. They're comfortable with each other again. So I would say we have a lot of hope and potential for this.
I don't think we're going to have the same amount of wait time as between 10,000 Days and Fear Inoculum. 6 years, I feel like we should at least start seeing kind of more stuff like this.
It may not, even if it isn't until 2026, which does suck, another year or so, it's still only February. It's definitely possible.
Totally. Yeah. And we never hear anything from Maynard unless it's close or, finalized. So I think we're going to have it sooner than we think.
Yes. And if Maynard's already commenting on that as well, then that's a good sign because he is also committed. If he's committed, then we know we're in a good place because he usually doesn't do his stuff until last.
Yeah, no, exactly. He doesn't. The music's already made by the time he even makes lyrics.
Yeah. So here's hoping it goes a lot quicker than 2019 to 2006, 13-year gap. But I have hope, which is weird to say on a podcast that talks about a lot of down topics. But you know what? This time I have hope. Keep your fingers.
This is the most positive podcast I've ever listened
Not
to. Luke.
one problematic story.
Oh yeah. So you don't listen back. So you don't listen back to our podcast. Nice. Good to know where my podcast hosts stand for our material.
Hey,
I knocked on my desk so hard it moved my camera.
I feel like you're putting words in my mouth. I don't like this. This is not okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, we now go on to a down story that's not exactly as upbeat. Yeah, see how I switched into that?
I knew it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. We now go on to an unfortunate situation for the fans of the Amity Affliction. We're going down under. And one of their members is a bit down under right now because he said he's straight up fired from the band. And he's been a big part of the band, Ahren Stringer. Quote, "I've been kicked out of my band. I will never play with the Amity Affliction." This coming after last year's 10-year anniversary of Let the Ocean Take Me tour, where they played the whole album front to back. Yeah, apparently they have tried to be patient with Stringer. And there have been a lot of comments from both the remaining members of the band and Stringer himself. It's never going to happen again. The future of the Amity Affliction is going to be very different from now on. He was singer-bassist. He had a big part of their biggest songs. And 2 quotes, "We are aware our fans have been waiting for us to comment on the situation between Ahren and the band. This will be our only statement. We've been choosing to stay silent until now as we wanted to handle this privately with respect to all involved. Unfortunately, it has become clear to us that this is no longer possible, and we owe it to you, our fans, to comment. Ahren will no longer be touring or recording with the Amity Affliction." It goes on. They make a statement. It's a very professional, well-worded PR statement. Ahren, in very few words, said he was straight up fired, and he'll never play with them again.
He has too many anchors.
Wow. They do have a lot of nautical terms, to be fair. A lot. So
it's the only Amity Affliction song I know.
Pittsburgh's the one. So Pittsburgh's the big one.
The big one.
Yeah, it does suck when this happens. Again, if you've ever heard the Amity Affliction, you know this is a big difference now going forward to what the sound's going to be. So.
I think they'll be all right. I mean, I've never met Ahren. I don't know Ahren, but like I know Brownie. I've had some great conversations with the guy. He's super rad, super cool, very down to earth. Mm-hmm. I think just judging from what we have on the outside, this 2 very different statements. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably going to be a good thing for Amity Affliction moving forward.
It needed to happen from what the sounds of it. There's no way it was going to coexist and be a good thing. So though I saw the tour last year, I shot it. I didn't notice anything, but I wasn't backstage. I wasn't seeing the tumultuous chaos or the uncomfortable silences, that probably were happening. So for all the Amity Affliction fans, I hope for the best. I'm sure the band has ideas. Maybe they'll go Linkin Park route and find a singer like Emily. And hopefully it'll be all smooth and there'll be no controversy like Linkin Park. Yay.
Just make sure the replacement doesn't have any ties to a cult.
Well, yeah. They have cults.
Yeah,
they have cults in Australia, so what do I know?
I know, yeah, but it's funny that's the bar we have to set.
Yeah, well, we weren't expecting
no
that last
former
year.
Cult members.
Yeah, that's true. It's Australia, though. They know how to survive. Their survival rates are better from all the wildlife down there. So people down there are tough. You wake up with a spider. You wake up with a spider the size of a polar bear, like knocking on your door. Yeah, that's just a Tuesday. They're tougher people down there. Or you just have
kangaroos just like going down your street.
Yes, and like trying to box you because that's what they do. Like actual boxing stands.
Or your face off. It's like a monkey.
Mm-hmm. Dude, have you those freaking kangaroos? They're all
buff
and roided out.
Yeah, they are not the cute cuddly animals that like all the cartoons made us think they were. Not even close. So
I mean, their way of moving is hopping. Their core strength is on another level,
and they do it while carrying a Joey. Yeah. Think about doing CrossFit while you're holding a baby. Yeah.
Or just
doing burpees while you're actually holding an infant. Your infant. Yeah. That's buff. That's a tough kid. That's a tough mom. So we all go back. Everyone in the Amity Affliction is tough, just like Australians. They'll be fine. I think Ahren will be fine too, and I hope this is what Ahren needs as well. That doesn't mean Ahren can never make music again. It just won't be with the Amity Affliction.
I think I read he's also having like some solo stuff come out soon. So
there you go.
At least to him, he feels like he's fine.
And we don't know all the dirt. We don't know all the dirty details. To be fair, we don't need to know. I just hope for the best for everyone involved. That this is a good thing for everybody. Ozzy got kicked out of his band because this is a big Ozzy podcast this week and last week. He turned out okay.
Look what happened.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
He turned out all right. And you know what? His band that kicked him out, they turned out okay. So everything's going to be fine.
I don't know about okay. After Ronnie James Dio, things kind of fell off a little bit.
After Dio. Okay. With Dio, things were solid. So I'm a big Dio fan. I will not apologize.
I'm not going to ask you to.
Yeah, I don't know any non-Dio fans, though. That'd be weird. Ugh, Dio. That'd be weird to hear.
Who is Red Flag?
Who is an Ian Gilliam Black Sabbath fan? Who is that guy?
I'm not going to say the entire run of Black Sabbath was flawless. I'm just saying they were fine after parting with Ozzy immediately after. So, that being said, as we're getting time to wrap up, we do have some super chats to go through. But first, we're going to talk about some upcoming tours and albums because there are some things dropping and things coming out. Alex, are there any tours or any other touring band news that we would like to discuss?
Let's take a look. We've got Lacuna Coil and Nonpoint. They just announced European tour for later this year.
That's the low tone tour where they just play bass and drop toning for hours at a time. That's what it sounds like.
It's Drop D.
Drop D, Drop D tour. There you go.
August Burns Red also just announced a European tour. They're going to do this around their festival appearances.
Okay.
Creed and Nickelback headlining Summer of '99 and beyond.
Okay,
festival.
We're all thinking of a lot of jokes in the chat right now. I know, but we can all laugh. But you know what? That's going to make a lot of money.
I should really just bring I should just bring like a cooler filled with Pabst Blue Ribbon and charge like $10 a can. You know I'd make money.
Oh, $10.
We're talking Nickelback.
$10 a can. You could charge $20.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the idea.
They're like 15 already. Go for it.
Yeah, man. Like that one's in California. You know it's already going to be like 15 a can no matter what. 20 is going to make it easy for him.
Roundup.
Yeah.
Creed, Three Doors Down, Seven Dust, Mammoth, WVH, Hinder, Vertical Horizon, Fuel, Nickelback Live, Daughtry Tonic, Our Lady Peace, and Lit.
There are some good bands sprinkled in. I'm a big Seven Dust fan. You know, they're like, I may not love and have commented many, many times about the bands I don't like on that list, but there are good bands on there too. So you know what?
Absolutely.
It's going to make a boatload of money. It really will.
And it's going to be fun because if you're there to see Seven Dust, you're going to have fun.
Yeah. Also, it's going to fill every cop's DUI quota because all they have to do is park at the exit and wait for all those drunk fans to drive home out of the parking lot. Man, 1 hour's worth, their month is set for that quota.
I do not think there's going to be a single fan in that concert venue who is not divorced.
This episode brought to you by Lyft Rideshare Services.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead and set up your Uber ride now. You can do it in advance. Just get it ready.
Okay.
It's easy.
Hey, you're talking about cops like, filling their quota. Like if you're an Uber driver, just stand by.
Also, if you're an Uber driver, line your backseat with plastic trash bags, if someone throws up, you don't have to worry about it.
Oh no!
Oh, like
that's your personal car.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Also, if you throw up in someone's car and it's an Uber, tip them extra. Come on.
Oh, don't worry, they charge you.
If I was the Uber driver, I would rent out like a guy.
Stop the show. How do you know that?
So we've also got Wardruna and Chelsea Wolfe just announced a North American tour.
Whoa.
Sweet.
Is that the witchcraft tour? Is someone to get sacrificed every night?
Let's
it's
go.
Gonna be rad, right?
Chelsea Wolfe is awesome, and Wardruna is intense from the stuff I've seen. So that actually does sound like a fun show. Do they have a show at Salem? Because I feel like that could actually be a gathering of witches, like Gathering of the Juggalos, but very horrifying.
I don't see one on here.
I would rather hang out at a festival of witches than a festival of juggalos.
We're gonna have to compromise and go to Boston, okay?
Yeah.
That's not that far from Salem. That's really not.
Nah.
So that's fine.
So
you can tailgate at Salem.
Okay, I was joking about this, but I mean this next part. So at the Festival of Witches, we could have our deodorant stand for sale and still make money. If we did that at Gathering of the Juggalos, I don't think we'd make any money. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to care, unfortunately.
Yeah, also I don't have to worry about about coming across like a meth head every 10 yards.
Fago flavored deodorant. We're golden.
Then they're going to try to eat it. Well, I guess if it's non-toxic, I guess it won't hurt them. It'd just be weird to see.
When I say flavored, I mean
scented. Yeah, I know what you meant.
Yeah,
I
deodorant.
I actually meant like they would try to eat it like a push pop, like those push popsicles.
Oh God!
You think like Juggalos wouldn't try that?
Whatever floats your boat. Your breast.
As long as they buy it,
it's true.
As long as they buy it, do we really care what they do with it?
Hey, you know what? If it's at least helping their breath, that's 1 cent done taken care of. We've improved.
You know what? We just invented a combo: deodorant and breath mint loaf.
Oh,
now you
mean like those like 5-in-1 body wash things? But we have like the thing for deodorant and mouthwash. Ooh,
yes.
patent pending. Everyone listening, don't take our idea.
Don't steal.
Rock's trademark.
Yes.
Some guy said, "Don't forget the pit diapers." Would that be for the witches or the juggalos?
Oh, that's the juggalos, 100%. They were probably wearing their own makeshift homemade pit diapers before the real ones came out.
Oh God, I imagine like some fucking. Oh, sorry.
Final thing before we go. If you're gonna get the deodorant mouth spray combo, it's pits then mouth, not the other way around.
Why?
Oh, that's right. I said it wrong. Mouth then pits. Boy, I just gave some really bad idea to everybody. Mouth then pits, not pits then mouth. There's a big difference.
Luke.
Well, wait. Well, wait. That also doesn't work too, because if you take a bite out of deodorant stick, then like, how are you going to be able to like rub it onto your?
No. You just lick it on your tongue. You just get it on your tongue. You don't have to take a bite. You just got to rub it in there. Yeah, like a toothbrush.
I would have thought it'd be like. Back when like before like toothpaste was a thing. You had like that powder thing. You just rubbed on your teeth. I was going to say this is really mean. Then we have to move on. I was going to say it's juggalos. They don't brush their teeth, so this could be the first time they got any oral hygiene in a long time.
Y'all, what have I done? I'm so sorry.
I apologize to every juggalo listening. I'm sorry. I know that's not true.
I started this. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
We talked about Chelsea Wolf.
Chelsea Wolf and Wardroda. We're going. Okay.
Asking Alexandria, From Ashes to New announced some U.S. tour dates. Alice in Chains announced some headlining tour dates around their U.S. festival appearances.
Yes.
Let Live, Farewell Tour, World Tour. That's going to be super rad.
Yes.
And Attack are going to be hitting the U.S. And then Dropkick Murphys are teaming up with Bad Religion for a co-headlining tour.
That's a fun one. I'm going to go see Dropkick Murphys at the end of this month. I was invited to the show. It's not that tour. But Dropkick Murphys, Bad Religion, that's a fun co-headline tour. I would totally recommend that one.
Totally. Don't miss that one if you can help it.
Mm-hmm. That's a pro deodorant tour too. Like they actually take care. So
our goal is going to have to be to find the least offensive festival or tour mashup that we don't have to help with our deodorant services.
Yeah, like we want to make money, but we also don't want to gas ourselves out.
Exactly.
So
balance.
Yes. I'm just saying that if we ever go to like a black metal show, we are gonna make bank.
I don't know. And then the 21st of February, what albums do we have coming out? I know of one, but I want to know what other ones we have. Rowan,
we got
what's
some good ones.
Yeah,
we got some big ones. So first of all, we've been talking a lot about post-hardcore bands on today's show. So if you're into that, you'll be happy to know that Silverstein is releasing a new album called Antebellum. And then, of course, if you're into more classic rock, Dirty Honey is releasing Mayhem and Revelry. Okay. I feel like Dirty Honey and Greta Van Fleet have been doing a decent job keeping the classic rock sound alive, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Dirty Honey's good live. They have like the sound translates well live. When I saw them a few years back.
Yeah. And, this is the biggest one for, I think, all of us. But Killswitch Engage, the metalcore giants that they are releasing this Consequence this Friday. And I am so looking forward to that because it's been like 6 years since Atonement. And I think that's like the longest time in between albums for this band. And I'm like, oh my God, yes.
It has definitely been a while. There are expected collaborations on that. If I'm correct, I don't want to spoil anything. I was sent the album a while back, but I haven't listened to it yet just because I want to have a fresh one with this week. Definitely excited for that, though, because, again, this is the first one since Atonement, and it's been a while for their own standards, so...
No, 6 years, which is, like... And nothing really released. I mean, like, we had some... I think also in 2019, we had, like, some rarities and B-sides released in conjunction with Atonement, but besides that, they were really kind of, like, silent.
Right, so...
Yeah.
It's cool to see. Lots of good stuff coming. Now
By the way, also... Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
By the way... Last thing, too, I feel like Killswitch Engage, if we're just talking album art, that's some of the best album art I've ever seen, like from that band, in particular.
They always do a good job. I like it when bands don't phone it in, and they always do a good job with their stuff.
I read the bassist of the guy who designs all their album art. Dude, that guy needs to be like the singer of Baroness. He just needs to do work for other bands and just like show more art.
Yeah, I mean, John from Baroness, it might be a top tier though. I agree with the say that, like, you ever see a Baroness album cover, you go, oh, should this be in a museum or something? What's this guy doing? Oh, he's playing at clubs and doing his own thing and getting nominated for Grammys. Oh, so he's a genius?
Yeah. And then he does and then he does album work for other bands too, like Skeleton Witch or something like that, with Serpents Unleashed. That's, again, talking just pure album art. Serpent, that album right there, or like that art cover, one of my all-time favorites.
There you go. So
yeah,
we go to Song of the Week. It was my week to choose, if I'm correct. I'm not stepping on either of your toes, from what I understand. I have chosen, again, Scowl. They released another single off their upcoming album. This one's song is called Babe, B-A-B-E. This is the perfect blend of post-hardcore and punk. And Scowl do it so well. Kat Moss, it has such a vicious tone when she's angry, and has a great, like, California, West Coast 90s alternative style when she's singing. So well done. Yeah. New album comes out in April. Babe, B-A-B-E. That's out right now. That's our Song of the Week. I would play you a couple seconds if YouTube would let me, but they won't. However, I'll link to it in the comments and things like that as well. Really looking forward to that new Scowl album. Their first full album, if I'm correct. Their EP was a blast when it came out a couple years ago. That being said, we have some super chats to run through. Thank you so much for the super chats. Keep them coming if you have any. We'll get to you. First up from Paul Urita. This is going to be a day to remember. Get the pun?
Alex, we got someone giving you a run for your money.
That's my job. Dang.
What is your favorite band and album of all time? Oh, right off the top of my head, I could not even answer that fairly. I've given so many of my favorite albums and videos before. So, Alex and Rowan, you don't have to have like a number one right away, but like, what's one of your favorites?
Beautiful Tragedy in this moment.
In this moment, okay. Rowan?
Lateralis Tool.
Okay, yeah. Very good. I'll go for the last time I talked about one of my favorite albums ever on YouTube, Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. So we're going through the ranges of those. Those are your 3 albums for homework, everybody. Listen to those and then come back to us next week. Thank you very much. You'll like it too. These are good stuff.
They're all good.
Yeah. From Paul, are there any entries on my list you do not agree? I don't know. If I see your list, I will let you know. Thank you. Can you do one album wonder, good songs, bad album part 2? He's asking if I can do follow-up videos to things like one album wonders and one song, one hit wonders and things like that. I'm not against it if I find enough entries to make a video. So how does Luke Skyrocker sound? A new nickname. Goodness, no. Skyrocker? Let's combine.
Use the gent, Luke.
Oh, yeah. Let's give him catchphrases also. The gent is the force. Oh, man. The Reddit's going to have a field day with something like that. Yowza. Like an all metalcore Star Wars.
You are strong with the Blair.
You fought in the 7-string wars? Yeah.
He was the best down picker out there.
I love your blast beats. I know. Oh, yeah. Now the boos come finally. Why are our views taking on YouTube? Why are people leaving? So, from Paul, Post Malone could do rock music, not Snoop Dogg. Okay, to be fair, Snoop Dogg was never trying to do full rock at any point. He was just trying to be Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is only ever trying to be Snoop Dogg. Even when he goes Snoop Lion every now and then, he's still Snoop Dogg. Okay, you know what you're getting. I
don't know. He was a rock star in oh my god, what's the name of the song? It was by Korn. Oh my god, he was in a music video for Korn.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, I'm blank. Played one in Twisted Transistor.
Yes.
Twisted Transistor. How did I forget that? Oh my god.
It's fine. He's also collaborated with a bajillion people. So, From Heavy Metal Joker, just heard the new Lacuna Coil album. Really enjoyed it. I did too. It's been a while for them. There was some good stuff. I Wish You Were Dead was released the day before Valentine's Day as a single. They did that right. And then the collaboration they did with Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. Sweet mercy. That's how you wake up the neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the new Lacuna Coil album as well. Thank you, Heavy Metal Joker. And last one from Paul. Comments if you are an Uber goober. We were talking about Uber. So Yeah, so there you go.
That one went way over my head because I'm a Lyft kind of gal.
Yeah, see, I usually rely on Lyft as well. So that being said, I think we're set. We have at least 2 personalized festivals, one for Paul, one for a heavy metal joker, and then we have our own because we hit our like goal. Thank you guys so much. Are you guys ready to book some festivals?
Let's do it.
As I just hit the button, every week we try to book a 5-band festival, like a radio station festival, at random. I have a big folder of photos and bands and stuff that I've shot, and we're going to try to make the best festival we can. The first one will be our fest. We'll call it Uber Fest just because it's fresh in my mind. That'll be day 1. Day 2 will be Paul Fest. Day 3 will be Joker Fest. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. It does help. To make sure that I'm not cheating, I'm going to show you the folder I'm pulling from so that way you all know. Is everyone ready? I'm not. Here we go. Band number 1 for Uberfest. Shinedown. They put on a great live show. Also, Shinedown, bonus little tidbit of news, they were just added to Download Fest.
Nice.
So that's another big band added to Sleep Token, Korn, Green Day. Pretty good. Again, UK gets everything nice. And we're getting our own festivals that are at random. Thank you. Number 2 of Uberfest, Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're making money. This is a big name festival already.
Absolutely.
Number 3.
I'm just kind of like, no, sorry.
Number 3, Gojira.
All right. That's going to be an interesting combo.
I could see Gojira and Shinedown connecting okay. I could somehow see that
but Gojira and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, I cannot see Anthony Kiedis really blending well with Gojira, but still, it's okay, it's okay. Number 4, Escape the Fate. That does not gel as well. However, I know they have their fan base. And
we can link it to the Shinedown.
yes, it's the closest connection would be Shinedown. I think that is fair. And number 5, Baby Metal.
Right.
It's all over the map, but Uberfest is Uber. It's a big one. These are big. Those are mostly big names. This festival's gonna make money. Let me know in the chat, yes or no, would you go to Uberfest? Alex and Rowan, would you go?
I'll go.
I'm going to pass on this one, actually.
Not a fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Well, it's not even just like that. It's just like, besides Gojira, like all the other bands, it's like I only know in like a handful of songs from each of them, if that makes sense, you know?
Okay.
Like, besides Gojira, none of them are like a big pull for me.
Okay. See, Baby Metal's a blast live, and Shinedown puts on a pretty big spectacle, so that's where my mind is. And I've never seen Red Hot Chili Peppers, even though I'm not crazy about them. That being said, that's why I'm going.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Also, it's Gojira. I mean, we owe them for the Olympics. We owe them for the Olympics. We owe them. Everyone owes them for the Olympics. So that's my logic.
It's just kind of a thing where it's like 1 in 5. I don't know.
No, I do get it too. Yeah, if it's not for you, then that's understandable.
Yeah.
I'm mostly seeing yeses in the chat though. Yes for the just for the first 3. I don't want to give my money to Ronnie. Ronnie's not a part of this one, but I escaped my fate. Okay, we're gonna move on from the bad puns. This is a yes though from like everyone saying in the chat. We now move on to Paul Fest. Most Paul Fests have been successful over the past few weeks. Let's see how we're doing right now. Thank you, Paul, for the super chats. Number 1 for Paul Fest, Queens of the Stone Age. They come up a few times.
All right.
Nice little start for that. Number 2, Explosions in the Sky. Different vibe, but it does kind of work. This is all all instrumental post-rock. And it's really good. If you ever see Friday Night Lights, the movie or TV show, they did all the music for that. A bunch of other cool stuff too. Number 3, Avatar.
Nice.
Queens of the Stone Age, Explosions in the Sky, and Avatar. We are definitely all over the map. It's intense. Number 4, Bullet for My Valentine. About to go on tour with Trivium.
Right.
And number 5, Hoobastank. Gonna sing the reason.
Oh, you gotta get one in there.
Gonna sing the reason, and then Avatar's gonna come on stage. Sure, okay. I think Queens of the Stone Age would be the headliner on that one, I believe.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Actually, over Bullet for My Valentine?
Yes, asterisk if it's in the States. Yeah,
that would be a tricky one.
Yeah, actually, I would say Queens of the Stone Age over as a headliner, not by a long shot. But again, Bullet hasn't had a lot of new stuff come out in quite a while. I don't know. That's just me. Yeah. So, in the chat, let us know if you would go to Paul Fest. Alex and Rowan, would you go?
Yeah, I would go.
Yeah, I would go too.
Yeah, I would go. I could, even if I don't care for Hoobastank, that's not going to shy me away from going.
Have them go first so they have like the shortest set list and we can just like rip off that Band-Aid like super fast, you know?
I think a lot of people will be going for the one song and then just waiting, so I think their set would be shorter no matter what. So, a lot of yeses. Skip this. Skip Bullet for My Valentine. Interesting. I love Avatar and Bullet. Don't care if Hoobastank is there. I'd go. A lot of yeses. Paul even said yes. You know what? Also, someone in the chat, the other 4 bands are the reason I would go. Finally, we go to Joker Fest. Thank you so much for the super chat. Band number 1 for Joker Fest. Bring Me the Horizon. We mentioned him earlier. Already a big one. Number 2. Disturbed.
Okay. This is a good one so far.
This is a big pyro budget festival we're having apparently today. Number 3, Kill Switch Engage. We also mentioned off the heels off their upcoming album. Joker Fest looking pretty strong. Number 4, Health. Health, industrial rock stuff. Great music. And number 5, old Vince Neil smiling at me, Motley Crue. So, Motley
Is Health
Crue.
good?
Health is Health. It's a 3-piece band, industrial rock and metal. Sounds great though. Like if Nine Inch Nails sounded more like Deftones, then you have Health.
Okay, yeah, no, I could be into that. I was just kind of like thinking like, because then Motley Crue is like the only one.
So, yeah, Motley Crue, but then you also have Bring Me the Horizon, Disturbed, Kill Switch Engage, and Health. Some people are really reacting appropriately.
Oh my god, this is like Motley Crue assassinated this festival for some of these people.
Yeah, that's Vince Neil in a bathrobe that he performed in when I saw him in 2022.
Oh my god.
All right, everyone in the chat, yes or no, would you go? Alex and Rowan, would you go to Joker Fest?
I would go.
I will tough out Motley Crue.
I will go. I'm probably just going to hang out during Motley Crue's set. Like, talk with you guys, talking back, work on stuff, something
Tell
else.
our deodorant brand.
Yeah, what are we talking about? We, for a Motley Crue audience, we definitely have to have a deodorant stand. Absolutely.
Flash breath mints.
Yes. We need to have like a projectile gun. Like one of those like disc shooters from the toys with their breath mints. So you can shoot them in people's mouths when they're opening. Man,
He's talking like a t-shirt cannon that you just shoot at people's face.
Yeah, but it's a small one, like a pistol. So that way you just go pa-ting, and that way like goes right in their mouth, fresh breath, and you don't have to get close to them.
I was thinking you dome some poor guy with just like a row of breath mints.
Oh yeah, like a whole log of Mentos, just smacking someone in the head.
You just hit some poor guy in the head with that.
Ugh. Well, if your breath's bad enough, you gotta have something knocked into you. Okay, so I am all over let me guys know too. Chat's all over the place. No, I'm gonna pass. Yes with asterisk. No, yes. Leave before Motley Crue, but yes. I'd go, but I'd leave before Motley. That's from Heavy Metal Joker, the person booking it. Gets Vince Neil to join Disturbed on stage for Down with the Sickness. What? Goodness. I'd go, but leave before Motley Crue. Skipped Disturbed and Boomer Crew. Goodness.
I mean, like, if you want Vince Neil to sing Down with the Sickness, find like one of those AI programs people use. Then you'll see how horrible it is and why that opinion is so wrong.
It looks close.
I think I see more yeses.
I believe it's yes. I think it leans towards yeses. It's definitely not a sweep. I'm just saying it leans towards yes. It'll be an interesting way to close out. Yeah, it'll be an interesting way to close out that 3-day festival session. But you know what? We made it. That's what's important. So, that being said, thank you for joining us on this edition of the podcast that rocks. We'll bring you more news on Black Sabbath's festival and Warped Tour shenanigans and whatever else we have next week. Alex, do you have anything you would like to close with?
Wanted to add, Halsey is hitting the road. If you're not a fan of Halsey or you're not familiar with Halsey, it's one of the tours I missed. She's hitting the road with a bunch of awesome names. She's playing one show with Evanescence in LA, and The Warning are actually going to join her for a couple of these dates. So
Halsey's album was the one produced and helped made by 9 Inch Nails, if I'm correct, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Well, so Halsey, 9 Inch Nails, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was on Bring Me the Horizon. They did a single together, Bring Me the Horizon and Halsey.
Yeah.
For Birds of Prey. It was Experiment on Me. That's one of the very few Halsey songs I know. Yeah. Bad movie, but awesome song.
Halsey,
it's actually a Halsey beanie.
Oh, okay. Halsey, I would check out to see live. Also, if they're touring with The Warning or doing shows. I saw the dates. I don't think it's coming near me, unfortunately. I would go to that show, though, if it was available.
Yeah, this is going to be a good show. If it's anywhere near you, you should totally go see it, especially with The Warning.
Halsey's a lot more rock than a lot of rock bands out there right now, by the way.
Oh, totally. Halsey's awesome.
Yeah, so good recommendation. Rowan, anything you would like to add before we wrap it up?
Well, literally this happened earlier today, but my Patreon got approved, so now I have a Patreon right now. And for anyone who's been following my own personal content, I actually have a new video coming out this weekend. It is an hour long. And I'm just looking forward to finally having that done. It's just been that's just been a personal project. But yeah.
Very nice. So you can check out Rowan's new video, and his Patreon link is in the description, or it's in the chat right now, I should say. I'll try to post it up with a link as well when he made the whole thing.
Oh, you don't have to do that, man.
Someone else just said the Star Wars that rocked. Why are we doing the Star Wars jokes this many years into the channel? Really? I survived this long on YouTube without getting whatever. Coming up on this channel, however, the next video I do will be an updated version of 10 bands and artists that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 2025 edition. Last time I did this was in pandemic era, and there have been some updates. However, I found 10 that still should be in there. You'll find some surprises. It was unfortunate to look at when I found out about Dio. How has Dio not even been nominated or skipped over? How?
Wait, he's never even been up on the ballot? That is actually criminal.
Black Sabbath's in, but not with Dio. They didn't acknowledge Dio as a part of it.
Jeez,
that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But
it feels like a spit in the face, really.
But Dio did not sing Honey and have that big MTV dominance in 1998 like Mariah Carey. So it makes sense. So
yeah, but the dude had Rainbow. He had his own solo stuff. I mean, I feel like more people can name more Dio songs than Mariah Carey songs, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
most people,
at least in our space.
Well,
in our space, yes.
But our space is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame space.
I know. Yeah, that's
you would think so, but no, doesn't matter. Someone just said Mariah Carey's my favorite rock band. Yeah, well, you're in luck. I'll have that video hopefully up by Monday, early access for Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Everything helps. Literally everything helps. Alex, do you have any funny shenanigans you would like to close with for this Tuesday evening?
Don't trust stairs.
You fall for them?
They're always up to something.
For everyone listening on the podcast feed, Rowan just got up and left. Literally stood up out of his chair and walked away. I'll be honest, if you got that much of a reaction...
Yay, I win!
Yes, you cannot say you lost. You actually caused 1/3 of our podcast to just quit from the jokes. So you know what? Yeah, someone just said rage quit.
I'll take it. Hell yeah.
Some of the comments already. Not even the tomatoes. Wow, these are actually... For such a tame Laffy Taffy joke, the comments are out of this world overreactions. Someone else just said, "Forget the tomatoes. I'm throwing bricks." Mercy. You guys all need to take a breath. The joke was not that monumental.
Matt Tim, Rowan heading for the stairs, guessing he is up to something.
Oh goodness. Are there going to be people?
That was just a bit. Don't worry.
I know. I figured as much, but there's going to be two reactions as we wrap things up. One, everyone in the chat room is either going to go to bed so angry they're shaking, or they'll be giggling under the covers, laughing about this joke, not able to sleep because they just think it's so funny about the stairs. What a tee stairs, tee. Just 8 hours of that. 8 hours. Goodness.
I hope it comes in waves.
Laughing too much.
You just get this randomly in your brain because it'll make you smile.
Always up to something. Oh, and they're going to tell it to everyone at work or school or something the next day, like standing by the steps to make sure every single person that goes up the steps hears it.
Oh, God. You're going to get...
The most obnoxious coworker on the planet is going to have the best day tomorrow. There's
gonna be like somebody executive like, Steve, you make that stupid damn stair joke one more time.
Steve, you have stood at the stairs for 5 hours and haven't worked for a second. You know me, just like these stairs, always up to something.
It's like have your desk cleared out by the end of the day.
Oh, you're acting like stairs, up to something. It's just he can't stop himself.
Productivity down this week. I wonder why.
A curse or something. He's like in his eyes. It's like, please help me.
He can't stop himself.
It's like a literal curse. It's like, I don't want to be
fill
here.
Everyone's heads with terrible dad jokes forever.
This is the first time in a while. This might be the first time in 2025 Alex broke the chat.
Yeah.
Actually, now thinking about it, that would be a hilarious movie. You're cursed, but your curse is that you have to say dad jokes all the time.
Would
that not be horrifying, chat?
Yes, it would.
Got you.